the top 5 best class setups in Modern Warfare 3. Guys, if you could drop a like fast, let's get straight into it. The first one is going to be the MTZ. Now, the MTZ is one of those guns that's just getting so much better after every single gun gets nerfed. The MCW's catching a nerf, the MTZ is getting better. It's just how it is. The first attachment we're going to throw on is the muzzle, and this is going to be kind of an optional one. You guys could choose what you want, right? You could throw on the VTC7 Spirit Fire Suppressor, or you could throw on the Jack BFB. For the sake of this video, I'm going to throw on the Jack BFB. Now, you got to just know that when you're using the Jack BFB, don't use it on like large maps or anything like that, because then people are going to know exactly where you're at. You're going to be shooting, they're going to come right to you. Use it on the smaller maps where a lot of people aren't really focusing on the mini map or anything like that. They're not really looking at, there's a lot of action going on and stuff, and that's when you got to use the Jack BFB. If you're playing on the larger maps, that's where I recommend the VT7 Spirit Fire, but for now we're just going to go ahead and throw that on. The barrel on this one is going to be the MTZ VLDL 3568 barrel. Say that fast. Just try it 10 times, all right? This one's really good because this one's going to give you ADS speed. It's also going to give you sprint to fire speed and sprint speed, and you're getting quite a bit. 9 ADS and 7 sprint to fire, which I think is good. And the reason we're running this barrel is, like I said, man, if we're using the Jack BFB, we're using it on smaller maps. We don't need to worry about distance or anything like that, where this will come in handy and whatnot. We could use this right here. We're not losing any range with it, and it's really, really solid to throw onto your gun. Then we're going to go to the magazine. I'm going to run the 50 round drums because when you're playing small maps, like you guys already know, man, there's people everywhere. They're spawning in front of you, behind you. You don't want to be reloading after every single kill. So 50 is going to help you out a lot. Now we're going to go with the Jack glassless optic. But again, optics, I always say, use what you want. Don't use what I'm using. If you want to use a slate reflector, go for it. If you want to use like the SZ Mini or the Slimline Pro or anything like that, or even the Moore's Iron Sight, which is not bad at all, you guys can go ahead and use all of those. But for the sake of this video, like I said, that is a lot of attachments. I never came this far. I never realized how many sights are in this game. That's crazy. But for the sake of this, we're going to go for the Jack glassless, and this is the exact class I gave you guys for the MTZ the other day. It's just so good. And then for the final attachment, we're going to put on the Rival, a script for ADS, aim walking speed, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, all that kind of stuff. And this one right here, as you guys can see, we're going to go into the firing range with this class. You guys will see this right here. It barely has recoil, and it's still really good for close and mid-range. When you get to long range, that's where you notice the recoil a little bit more, but as you guys saw, it's still so easy to control. So even though you throw on a barrel that's made for close range, don't worry about it whatsoever. Also, my face is down in this corner for once because we're actually going ahead and gonna show you guys every attachment. I'm not gonna sit here and try to move my face and stuff and then forget, and then you guys have no idea what the stock is. We're just putting the bottom now so you guys can see everything. Let's move on to the next weapon on this list, and it is the MCW. Now, I did mention the MCW caught a nerf, but it's still such a viable gun to use. It's still actually really nice to use, and I really recommend it. So the first attachment on this one's going to be the VT7 Spirit Fire. We're actually going to go with that, so you can be undetectable by radar. You get nice recoil control, and you also get bullet velocity and range, so this gun's even better for those longer distances. That's really nice. And then the underbarrel is going to be the DR6 hand stop, and this one so you can be nice and fast, right? You guys can see all that mobility right there. You're getting 4 movement, 8 crouch movement, 7 ADS movement, my bad, 6 ADS speed, and then your sprint to fire is up 8. So this is actually really worth it in my opinion. Then we're going to go to the magazine, and we're not going to actually throw it on yet because I'm going to show you guys why. We're going to go, actually, let me throw it on just so I can show you guys. If you throw on that 40 round mags, it kind of blocks this out for some reason, right? It's going to say that your 40 round magazine can't be used, it has to be removed. So we're going to do that. We're going to remove it. We're going to put the conversion kit first, and we're going to put the Jack Raven kit, and this is going to give you rate to fire, mobility, and handling, which is really nice. It's actually insane what it gives you there, but your recoil gets crazy, all right? Your recoil is kind of like, it's insane how bad it is, but your rate of fire is up, your headshot damage and lower torso damage is up, your movement, your ADS, everything is up with this attachment, so definitely throw that on. Now we could go back to the magazine and throw on this right here, which is 300 BLK ammunition. This one right here is 5.56, which is why you can't throw it. These only unlock once you throw on the Jack Raven on, so you guys can throw these on only afterwards. So there we go with that right there. And then the final attachment, it's going to be an optional one. If you guys want an optic, go ahead and use it. If you don't want an optic, which I kind of recommend not using an optic, go for the rear grip, and that's the RB Rapid Strike Grip, and this is going to give you guys even more ADS speed. But look at that sprint to fire. That sprint to fire goes up 26%, which is absolutely insane. Like, it's actually insane. And then you guys can use it here, and you guys can see the iron sight's not that bad. It's a little big, it's a little bulky, it's a little weird and whatnot, but it's just really awful. Now, let me actually go ahead and control this recoil just to show you guys that it's not actually all over the place. I just wasn't really touching it there, but you guys can see, like, it's actually really easy to control. I don't know why I was going in circles there, but I did what I did. Anyways, let's move on to the third weapon on this list, and that's going to be my favorite weapon in the game, the SVA 545. Now, the SVA 545 is one of those guns where it's just, it has such a nice fire rate, but I always recommend recommend turning it into like an SMG if you can. And the first thing to do that is by throwing on the anti-quietus suppressed barrel. This is going to give you sprint to fire speed, it's going to give you ADS and aim walking movement speed, or aim walking speed I should say, and this is really nice because you're actually undetectable by the radar as well, and you just lose a little bit of bullet velocity and range, but everything else goes up. I recommend throwing this on. We're not using the SVA for long distance right now, which by the way, it is a really good gun for long distance too, but this class is a close range class. And then after that, we're going to go to the underbarrel. Now I would always recommend running the DR6 hand stop because you get ADS speed, you get sprint to fire speed, but we already put on such a smaller barrel that it's kind of hard to control the recoil a little bit. So instead what we're going to do for this one right here is we're going to go ahead and throw on the Bruin Sync Shot grip. Not the Bruin Sync Shot grip. It looks like it. It looks like it. The Bruin Heavy support grip. I read that. I was like, no, that's not it. This one gives you gun kick control, aiming idle sway, horizontal recoil, and firing aim stability. So definitely throw that on. These two kind of pair together nicely, and you get such nice recoil control with this one right here. It doesn't look like it because you see that vertical goes, it's worse by 4, but it's nice. Trust me, guys. It's nice to run. After that, we're going to go to the optic. And for the optic, you can run whatever you want. I like the slate reflector on the SVA, to be quite honest with you guys, and I'm going to run that for this case. And then for the rear grip, we're actually not going to run any, okay? So you can run the Nout if you want. This is an optional attachment. I'm not going to run it though, alright? I'm going to go to the stock, and what I'm going to throw on is the main V6 for recoil control and gun kick control. This is kind of needed because this is a close range class. The recoil control is kind of hard to control, so we're going to throw that on. And like I said, the rear grip, you could go ahead and throw it on here, but instead we're going to go to the magazine and throw on the 45 round mags, okay? I prefer having more ammo. Like I said, this is a close range class. You guys are going to go into the firing range, you're going to see it. It's not really built for that distance right there, so having more ammo in the close range gunfights where you're going to encounter a lot more people is a lot better in my opinion than having just a little bit more ADS. The ADS is fast. Look at the sprint to fire as well. The sprint to fire is pretty quick as well. Everything's nice, but when you get to this distance here, it's a little easy to hit. I made it look a little easy to hit at least, but it does bounce up a lot, okay? So that's why I use it for mid-range, and that's why I use this class for close range. If you want to use this class for long range as well, then what I would recommend is instead of this barrel, you might want to go ahead, and I think it's this one right, no, it's not this one right here. Yeah, it is this one right here, the precision barrel. This is going to give you that bullet velocity and range and all that gun kick and recoil control that you need. But like I said, I like this class to be for close range, so that's what we did right there. Let's move on to class number 4. Now here's a class if you guys want one for long range. Okay, we got the BP50 right here. This class is actually, it's insane for every range. This is probably one of the most unfair classes in the game, and it's one of those classes where I recommend running a lot. So we're gonna run the VT7 Spiritfire. There's a little bit of a pattern going on here, but you can even run the broadhead on this one. It's actually not that bad. I like the VT7 Spiritfire. I don't know what it is, I just like it. All right, there's not too many cons, and it's actually really nice. You get a lot of recoil control and range and all that kind of stuff. And then we're gonna go to the underbarrel, and we're gonna throw on the exact same underbarrel that we just had on the SVA, and that's the Bruin Heavy support grip, because it's kind of going to be needed on this gun to make it an absolute laser. You guys are going to see this gun's going to have absolutely no recoil whatsoever when we actually go and shoot people. Then we're going to go to the barrel, and we're going to throw on the Lure 9 Heavy, and this is going to give us bullet velocity and range, gun kick control, and recoil control as well. Look at that right there. That's insane. You're not losing any ADS with this, so might as well go ahead and throw it on. The magazine is going to be the 45. There it is right there. The first one, because yeah, you don't want to run out of bullets again. I wish there was 60. I'd probably throw it on because we already made this class pretty heavy anyways, so I would probably throw on 60 to begin with. And then for the final attachment, we're going to go to the comb, and we're going to throw on the Reliant IX, which I think one of you guys told me is 9, so the Reliant 9 comb, and this gives you more ammo in the reserve, which is great. So you don't have to throw down a munition box and stuff, but you also get sprint to fire and ADS, which is somewhat needed on this class. All right, you're not getting a lot of ADS, you're getting 2, but you're getting 13 sprint to fire, which I would recommend because it's pretty needed. Now if you look at this gun, it has absolutely no recoil. I jump shot it, I didn't mean to. It has absolutely no recoil whatsoever. I'm gonna wait for that to come back up. I'm gonna shoot this gun, and you guys are gonna see, like, it is so easy to hit every single shot at every single range. Probably one of the easiest guns in the game for all those ranges. Now I made a class that has even less recoil control than this, but I forgot when. I think it was like a month ago. If you guys want to go look at a BP50 class from a month or 2 ago, you guys will see a class that has even more recoil control. But this one right here, I like it because you also get some sort of ADS and sprint to fire along with it. Let's move on to the last weapon, guys. And yeah, this is probably one of my favorite weapons in the game. And this is the Holger 556. I didn't use this gun for probably the longest time. I didn't use it for a long time, and then I recently started using it, and it is really damn nice. Now we're gonna use the VT7 Spirit Fire once again because it is nice, and I like it, man. I don't know what to say about it. Now we're gonna skip the underbarrel for a moment. We're gonna go to the ammunition, and we're gonna throw on the 5.56 NATO low grain. Okay, you don't want the high grain, you want the low grain for recoil control. You're losing some bullet velocity and range and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't matter, all right? This class is still disgusting. All right, so we're gonna throw that on, and if you guys look at this right here, like it's barely, it's 15%. It's not too much. Those two so far are really good together. We're gonna go to the magazine, throw on the 40 rather than the 30 because I've run around in this game with the 30 a lot, and it's not worth it in my opinion. The rear grip on this one is going to be the Morn 20 grip for flinch resistance, recoil control, and gun kick control. That's really nice to have. You're getting quite a bit. You're getting 10, 10, 10, and then your flinch resistance is almost half better, so really worth it. Your ADS movement speed goes down a bit. I'm already using this gun for like close, mid, long range as well. It doesn't matter too much. And then for the final attachment, we're going to throw on the RB Adel Assault Stock. I think I'm saying that right, for recoil control and gun kick control as well. 9-14-14, which is really nice. And if I go into the firing range with this gun, you guys are going to see just how nice it actually is. So right here, you're going to have a little more recoil than what you guys are used to with other guns and stuff, but that's because the holder it bounces a lot more. It's a lot of visual recoil as well, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. Anyways, that's the top 5 guns. If you guys could drop a like on this video, subject to channel notifications turned on, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.